because although there's been a lot of rumors about our school closing, and the school is hurt because of that, I think people are probably interested, and I, for one, am interested in the process that it takes to get here. And from what I understand, that there are policies and procedure that are in place, that the Archdiocese put in place. And it's my understanding that the spirit of those policies is to create an environment for children to go to school in the Catholic school system, and that all efforts have to be made to save the school in order to continue that education.
Yes.
And I think that people, without knowing how we got to this spot, feel as though decisions were made without exploring other options.
Agreed.
To answer your question about policy and procedures, those policies and procedures for the parishes are guidelines. Okay?
Get him, Vinny.
For the Archdiocese high schools, not the private schools like Notre Dame, but Northwest Catholic, those procedures are in place and they govern those schools. They have been used as guidelines for the parish schools. Parish school boards were encouraged to adopt their policies as well. There's a policy manual out, a suggested policy manual. So that's where these are coming from.
Dr. Watson.
Just please let me finish. Will you let me
Go
finish,
ahead,
and
go
then you
ahead.
can have the floor.
Go ahead.
As far as the consultation, as you've heard here, this started over a year and a half ago with your former pastor, with Dr. Hoyt. Ongoing conversations have been taking place. I was asked to come in the beginning of October, and I met with members of your school board, finance committee, the trustees, with the pastor. So this has been going on.
I just want to remind you, so on October 21st, we met here at the parish.
Yes.
You were in that meeting. Dr. Hoyt was in that meeting, as well as the parish trustees, myself, Vinny. When the issue came up about the compliance or the failure to comply with that rule, that is specifically meeting the October 1 deadline, it was, I believe it was Father Crichton that said, no, those are guidelines. I recall very specifically that Dr. Hoyt said, no, those are not guidelines, those are the rules. You did not disagree. So was Dr. Hoyt wrong when he said that?
I don't remember that.
Well,
What
I
you
do.
said. I'm sorry, I don't remember that, but I'm just giving you my
Well, it was very
read on
clear at that
those.
meeting that those were not guidelines, those were rules. And I will tell everybody here that Dr. Hoyt was pretty clear about that. The superintendent of schools wasn't the guideline. When did the Archbishop ratify the decision to close the school?
I don't know,
How can you not?
do you know when that third, he did ratify that today.
Today was a ratification.
That is the biggest.
Along the lines of what is Rule 1.218 and the idea that it's a guideline, which I know was disagreed with at that meeting. I do have in front of me here a September 1st, 2009 letter from Archbishop Manzel to all who serve and teach in Catholic schools. A couple of points I'd like to make. First being the Handbook of Policies and Procedures for Catholic Schools, for which this rule that I'm referencing is a part of, provides the framework within which Catholic schools must operate and serve the community. The policies have been recommended for adoption by the Catholic School Board of the Archdiocese of Hartford, with procedures written by the Superintendent's Office. It is important, therefore, that pastors, administrators, teachers, non-instructional staff, and members of the school boards or other local organizations become familiar with and use the handbook as a framework for operations. So isn't the spirit of this rule not meant to be followed so an undue hardship is not placed on the parents and the students that go to the school, as well as the